The next time, she's got to go to Wisconsin to campaign. You know, it hadn't been lost in decades. The people are great in Wisconsin. You have to go there and campaign. The people said, oh, you'll be okay. The Republicans haven't won the great state of Wisconsin in decades. You got to go there. I went there a lot. And in all fairness, her husband, Bill, who's a good politician, they didn't listen to him. He said, you better go to Wisconsin. You better go to Michigan. I'm seeing a lot of things out there. I see a lot of signs. Trump, Pence. Mike Pence, is he doing a good job, by the way? Doing a good job. So I just announced that we'll increase tariffs on China. And we won't back down until China stops cheating our workers and stealing our jobs. And that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, we don't have to do business with them. We don't have to do business. We can make the product right here if we have to, like we used to. Remember? Like we used to. And right before I came into office, our nation was being signed up for a one-sided, single sellout like you've never seen of the American worker. And I said, it's not going to happen. The Trans-Pacific Partnership was going to destroy our automobile industry like you've never seen before. And our automobile industry is pouring back into our country. But while we're unleashing an unprecedented wave of prosperity, the Democrat Party is trying to return us to the failures of yesterday. They want to have things rejected because they're all waiting for 2020. They think the more they can hurt us, the worse they make us look. I think they're making us look better, personally. I really do. I really do. I mean, they want to do investigations instead of investments. They want to do what they're doing, which looks so foolish, and maybe I read it wrong, but I think it drives us right on to victory in 2020 because people get it. People get it. But our country, the great USA, is not being pushed around anymore. Nothing is more dangerous than the Democrats' crazy immigration agenda. Democrats believe that everyone in the world has the right to violate our borders. They want open borders, disrespect our laws, and come into our country and collect benefits courtesy of the United States taxpayer. Thank you very much. Right? I won't say it. If you remember when I made the speech at the base of Trump Tower, I talked about what's happening. I mentioned the word rape. I was absolutely, by the fake news media, they went after it. Guess what? That speech was so mild compared to what's actually happening that you read it today and it's like unbelievable. But Democrats say they care about the poor, but their open border policies drive down wages, drain social services, and hurt the poorest Americans more than anybody else. And the crime that comes in is unbelievable. You don't read it. They don't want to talk about it. Sanctuary cities, a total disaster. Republicans believe that you, the American citizen, have the absolute right to have your laws and borders enforced and enforced strongly. It's your country. We believe that our welfare program should be protected for truly needy Americans, not for illegal aliens that come into our country illegally. We believe that our immigration system should put the jobs and safety of American families first. We want to help people, and we want to be gracious, and we want people. We need people, frankly, because we have so many companies moving into our country. We're the hottest country. They want to move their plants. We need people. They have to come in through merit. Merit. So Mexico now, for the first time, has been taking people back to Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador and other countries. And for the first time, not big enough numbers, but they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. We can't have this, folks. We can't have this. This is crazy what's happening. And what we really need more than anything else, We need the loopholes closed by Congress. It would take 15 minutes. Everybody knows what they are. Asylum. Asylum. They walk in, they read a statement by a lawyer, written by a lawyer at the border who probably gets paid by somebody that's not exactly friendly to this crowd. I am very fearful of my life. My country is a very frightening place to be. Please help me. In the meantime, there's tattoos all over his face. And I say, no, he's the one that causes the fright. And he comes in and he talks about his country. But then they have a picture of him 5 days sooner walking up, flying the national flag of their country. So if he's so afraid of his country, why is he flying the flag of the country, right? Flying the flag. They want to fly the flag of Guatemala and Honduras and El Salvador right into our border. Save that flag. We love our country. We love our country, but we're afraid of it. For purposes of getting into the United States, we're afraid of our country. No, we can't let this happen. The Democrats, we need the votes. We need the votes. Otherwise, you're going to have to vote them out of office, Congress, the Senate. You're going to have to vote them out of office come November, next November, November 3rd next year. You're going to have to vote them out of office because otherwise you can't make a change. We need the votes. We have to go through Congress. How we ever ended with this stuff is incredible. And to confront this crisis, you saw that. It was a big deal 2 months ago. I declared a national emergency, which is what it is. This is an invasion. When you see these caravans starting out with 20,000 people, that's an invasion. I was badly criticized for using the word invasion. It's an invasion. And it's also an invasion of drugs coming in from Mexico, okay? It's an invasion of drugs. They got some rough country. But we need, and what we need we'll have done. But they can't do this. They can't let this happen. And we're being very tough with them, I'll be honest. Mexico made $100 billion on average over the last 10 years. $100 billion. They took 30% almost of our automobile business. We make cars. They send them through the United States. That won't happen anymore under the USMCA. It'll be prohibited. It'll be economically prohibited. Our current immigration crisis is the result of Democrat-backed policies that prevent border crossers from being swiftly returned home. A border crosser comes in, you say, sorry, we're taking you home. And that's if you're nice, and I want to do that. Okay? But we're the only one that has judges. Judges. Think of it. They come across, we have judges. We're the only one. Nobody else has judges. We give them a trial. We need Perry Mason. It's crazy. Folks, it's crazy. And then they say, and the wall would help because it would not help. The wall would stop it. Okay? The wall would stop it. So it's a tough situation. But if they change the loopholes, we'll have it perfectly. And when the wall is finished, it's going to be great. Democrats even supported deadly sanctuary cities which release dangerous criminal aliens onto our streets. They're protected. Republicans believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens. Congress must act to fix our horrible immigration laws. We must end catch and release, stop human smugglers. Have you seen what's happening? Human smugglers, human traffickers. Have you seen what they're doing? This is an ancient thing. It's an ancient crime. It's bigger now because of the computer, because of the internet, than ever before worldwide. Not just here, worldwide. And most come through our southern border where we don't have a wall. They don't go through ports of entry. You have people looking inside the car, the van. So you can't do that. If you have women tied up with tape over their mouths, you can't take them through a port of entry. And a lot of these people say, oh, they come through the port. They don't come through the port. They come through areas where you don't have the wall. 15 miles up and make a left. We got to shut down sanctuary cities, deport criminal aliens, and replace the visa lotteries, the chain migrations. with a modern system of immigration. We have to do it. On issue after issue, the Democrat Party has never been further outside the American mainstream. It's never been. I've never heard of anything like what's going on. I want to run so badly. I want this race to start immediately. Now Democrats are pushing a $100 trillion takeover of the U.S. economy, known as the Green New Deal. That was written up by a real genius. The new Democrat Party believes in socialism. Take a look at Venezuela. Republicans believe in freedom. We need to get senators elected. We need to get the votes. We need congressmen and women elected. Republicans, we need to get the votes. You got to get out there. You got to win. Otherwise, we'll be playing around for too long. And Democrats are aggressively pushing late-term abortion, allowing children to be ripped from their mother's womb right up until the moment of birth. And then you have this governor in Virginia, you saw that. The baby is born, and you wrap the baby beautifully, and you talk to the mother about the possible execution of the baby. No, can't do that. So who heard of that one? And that came up, and that's now something, and they don't even want to discuss it. They don't even want to discuss it. And to protect innocent life, I called on Congress to immediately pass legislation prohibiting extreme late-term abortion. Democrats are now the party of high taxes, high crime, open borders, late-term abortion, witch hunts, and delusions. The Republican Party is the party for all Americans. We want to make America great again. That's what we're doing. I wish the cameras. Will you please show these people? I go home, you know, you hear it. You hear it. You can hear how many people, but they never show it. They don't want to do it. It's like a Florida State football game, isn't it, right? We are the party of the American worker, the American family, and we are the party of the American dream. Every day we're making very, very good on our motto. In fact, much better than we promised. And you know what it is? It's promises made, promises kept. We've actually given you more promises, and a couple of my opponents said this. They weren't happy about it, but we've given you more promises than we said we would do. That's very unusual for a politician. That may be a first. Earlier this year, I signed an executive order to defend free speech on college campuses. You see what? And we are carefully monitoring the actions of social media giants. Big tech must not censor conservative or other voices. We are also taking steps to address judicial overreach. Activist judges whose issue... That's right, you know about that, right? We did a big thing. And the Democrats hate that I did this, because you know who started this in reverse? Was Bill Clinton when he was president. Because activist judges who issue nationwide injunctions based on their personal beliefs undermine democracy and threaten the rule of law. Take a look at what we did for criminal justice reform. Nobody thought it could be done, and we passed it. And it's tough as hell, but it's also fair. It's fair. That's why we're appointing judges who will interpret the Constitution as written. And we just confirmed listen to this, our 100th federal judge. And we'll soon be in record territory, not to mention 2 great Supreme Court judges. We've got 2 great Supreme Court justices. What a difference. And having them up there makes you feel good about your country, doesn't it? Makes you feel good about your country. We've launched a historic initiative to reduce the price of prescription drugs. We're doing big. Last year, prescription drug prices went down for the first time in nearly 51 years. Just today, we announced that the drug companies will now be required by law to include prices in television advertisements. First time. It's going to drive the price down. And we're vastly expanding affordable alternatives to Obamacare before we terminate it and replace it with something good once we take over the House, the Senate, the presidency together. And we also passed, 46 years they've been trying, VA accountability. Because under the VA, you couldn't fire anybody. If they were terrible to our great vets, they could be sadistic, they could steal, they could rob, they could do anything. We had no way of firing these people. Now we passed VA accountability. They don't treat our vets right. Boom, you're fired. 46 years they tried to get that. With every last ounce of heart and hope and sweat and soul, we are going to make our stand. We are going to stand for liberty. We are going to stand for justice. We are going to stand for faith, family, and freedom. And we are going to stand for the sacred rights given to us by the hand of Almighty God. We are one united movement, one united people, and one United States of America. And together with the proud people of the Panhandle, the proud people of Florida, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Florida. Thank you very much.